Today I'm going to do something I rather enjoy doing, ranting about economics. Now, I am a layman, but I am a layman who has read up a bit. So while I may not be able to pass an economics test, I can hold a conversation to understand economic concepts, and let me tell you, both the right and the left are economically illiterate. The only difference between the two is that the right knows how to throw around some more buzzwords that actually have something to do with economics than the left. Sad reality. So here we have Phil Spencer, a man who ran the Xbox division to the ground, continues to make horrible decisions, is now blaming capitalism. Yes, capitalism, the system of capital, which is the definition of capitalism, for the failure of the industry. Do note the industry is suffering right now because of socialism. DEI, ESG is socialism. It has ballooned these companies' budgets and decreased their profitability. But somehow it is capitalism's fault. Now here's the funny part. Socialism is a form of capitalism because socialism does not want to do away with capital. Thus, it is by definition a system of capital. It just has a different managerial structure than, say, free market capitalism. That is not how Phil DEI Spencer means it, though. Next, you have the issue of they raised game cost to $70 and invested in live service. Economists, the evil capitalists, told them, hey, don't raise the price. You're going to price people out of the market. No, don't go involved with live service. You're going to get people to stay in a smaller pool of games, and they're not going to buy other games. You're going to hurt yourself in the greater scheme and long run. But did these companies listen to them? No. They saw quick, easy money because Fortnite dollars. So they rushed into both these models, did both these things, and are now suffering the exact consequences economists told them they would experience. And somehow it's capitalism's fault. Not socialism, not mismanagement. It's capitalism. Keep in mind, corporations are more of a socialist institution than they are a capitalist institution, because capitalism typically refers to free market capitalism. Smith and Carl Manger. Well, I guess you could throw in Kenzie too. Keep in mind, I guarantee you not one person has read any works by these people or learned any of the concept by these people, which is really funny when you see the right wing defending corporations when corporations are antithetical to capitalism as they understand it. But that is a political rant. Yes, it's capitalism's fault. Let's get into this stupidity. The problem, according to Spencer, is a lack of growth across the video game industry as a whole. When you have an industry that is projected to be smaller next year in terms of players and dollars, and you get a lot of publicly traded companies that are in the industry that have to show their investors growth, because why else does someone own a share of a company, of someone's stock, if it's not going to grow? Dividends. That's the whole reason why you should own stock. They should be paying out money for ownership. Anything other than that is gambling. Anything other than that is not capitalism. The side of the business that then gets scrutinized is the cost side. Because if you're not going to grow the revenue side, then cost side becomes challenged. Here's the problem with that. That actually is a very sound business principle. So what do you think they're going to cut? Do you think they're going to cut the managerial side, which is eating up the vast amount of revenue that costs more than it ever produces, because management only really optimizes and directs, it doesn't produce? Or do you think they're going to cut the workers? The people actually putting code to, well, it's not paper. Screen? Code to screen, yeah. Putting code to screen. Of course they're not going to fire management. They're firing the worker. Yes, some marketing departments and redundancies are getting terminated, but by and large, they're going after the lower rung on the ladder. The people that get paid the least, but do most of the work. 80-20 principle. Look it up. Yeah, so Phil Spencer doesn't know what he's talking about at all. Let's continue. I don't get the luxury of not having to run a profitable growing business inside of Microsoft. Yes, you do, actually, because your whole fiduciary duty is to be sustainable, not growing. Growing is good. Sustainable is what is required of you. This is exactly the luxury you have. But just across the industry, sitting here at GDC, you know, the people promoting Marxism, I reflect on the friends of mine in the industry that have been displaced and lost their jobs, and how just I don't want this industry to be a place where people can't, with confidence, build a career. So that's why I keep pivoting back to, how does the industry get back to growth? You don't, you fucking retard. The disposable income of your consumers is decreasing due to economic hardship. You are not getting back to fucking growth. You get back to sustainability. That is how you run a business. You cut your costs, you optimize your management, and you optimize your cash flow. And you also reduce your cost to the consumer where possible, thus to maximize your sales volume. There's a mathematical equation you can put into work. I would have to look it up, but essentially, at a certain point, $70 versus $50 is going to make you less money because of the lower volume in sales. But no, Phil DEI Spencer refuses to do basic business. Hell, most of this I learned, I probably in high school, or heard about when I was in high school, and this reject can't do that. And yet he gets to run a multi-billion-dollar company, whereas there are vastly more qualified people who understand the basics of business and economics who are going to get passed over for this because they didn't go to the right colleges and know the right people. As for us at Xbox or any of the teams, there are... dude, what the hell? For us as Xbox or any of the teams that are out there, it is really an outcome of an industry that's not growing. No, it's because you can't manage your budgets and you basically delve into socialism. It can grow. No, it can't. And it will grow again. No, it won't. Look, when people don't have discretionary funds and your industry is a luxury, luxuries go down when people don't have discretionary funds. It's a basic economics. It's not going to grow again till the economic conditions which is causing the contraction go away. Because if it comes down to a $70 game and food for your children or yourself, you're going to pick food. Unless you're like me and you can stand to lose some weight, in which case, you know, hell yeah, Sandland, here we come. But you see, this time right now, and the implications have human impact. And we should all reflect on that and think about that. Yeah, fire Phil Spencer. This dude doesn't understand economics. He doesn't understand business. These are the kind of people who thought the boon they got during COVID, when everyone was locked indoors and had to spend their money on games, was going to last forever. The people running these companies have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And as talks of terminations have come out, that has become insanely obvious. Phil Spencer is not the savior of Xbox. He is a detriment to the company at this point. And yes, if you want to open your mouth and blame quote-unquote capitalism for your screw-ups and for you implementing socialism, which is the exact opposite of free market capitalism, you're going to lose all support you got from me. And that is all I got to rant today. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.